Hi everyone, thanks for watching. So some more cash to stuff this week. Again, this one's actually a bit of a mix. I actually have a couple of different side hustles, and it all just gets dumped in the same account and then I withdraw it so we can count it out. So this one's a bit of a blur. There's some of my normal income and a kind of mix of side hustle income in here. And I've got a couple of things we need to get tackled. So first of all, let's get everything counted out. So start with the 20s. That's 20, 40, 60, I already made a mistake. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100s. 20, 40, 60, 80, 200s. 20, 40, 60, 80, 300s. 20, 40, 60, 80, 400s. 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 500. I'm thinking of getting some counting trays to make this easier because there's not quite enough room in here. Some more 10s here, quite a lot of 20s in the draw today. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 600s, and the 5s. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, there we go, another 100, so that's 4, 5, 6, 700 all in. A lot of 20s today. Okay, so first things first, it is from some money from the side hustle. We are trying to keep the purse strings kind of tighter this month because we had some unexpected outgoings, if anyone's seen the previous video. So it is some side hustle money, so we are going to take £40 first of all to put towards, oh dear me, making a mess. Anytime I take money out of a side hustle, I want to put some money back in to help scale it. So that's set aside for that. So that's £40 for that. It's kind of hard to track those things because sometimes we invest in a side hustle directly from its income before it even gets this far. It kind of just depends, but I try, anytime we're taking money out that goes into budgeting things, I try and put a little bit aside. And there's no real time frame on when we spend that, so that might sit there a while, we might spend it the same day, it kind of just depends. Okay, so first things first. Again, I think this has been the same as last week, same as the last video, sorry. This is the most money I've ever had set aside for rent, possibly ever. So I used to be very last minute dealing with all the bills and things I owed. So our rent folder actually has far more than I normally would have. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100s, 200s, 300s. So we're going to add just 300 in there. Let's put another 100, so that's 400. I think we'll put 150 in today, which will bring us up to 450, which for near enough the start of the month is more than I think I've ever had aside for rent. So that feels pretty good. Bills, don't think we've had to pay any bills since the last one, so should be enough in here. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, okay, and 60, so £150. Now, for various reasons that I won't really get into, our bills aren't actually that high. We just don't tend to have that much. Things like, I do have a direct debit, so I'm going to put a little bit more in here because we're trying to kind of get ahead on things. Not too much because I don't want too much money sitting in there. But I have a direct debit for, we have two direct debits actually for charities. And technically I tend to lump bills under anything that's a kind of direct debit like that. But it's technically not a bill. So let's put £20 in there, but I might start to break down the bills a little bit and be into utilities and things. Next one is groceries. Now I am on my own for a wee bit, and I know I have a great big debt box here for various reasons, but I tend to be quite frugal. A bit of an impulse buyer, definitely, but I don't really have expensive tastes. So when I go to buy groceries, when it's just me, I don't really buy that much. There are some things like I'm vegetarian, and that sometimes means paying a little bit extra. A cauliflower steak costs more than an actual steak, for example. And I avoid milk, just dairy. So I drink coconut milk and things, and this costs a little bit more. But in general, I don't actually spend that much. We have £30 aside for groceries. I'm gonna put another £30 in there, and that might honestly see me through the week. Probably more, really. I don't tend to spend that much. It helps that I don't really drink myself that often. I'll drink maybe some wine once or twice a month, so that stays pretty cheap. Car and gas, nothing to put aside for this week. That's all sorted. I think we have about £40 in there. I won't need any more. Dining out is the same. Actually, that's a lie. What we're going to do is, because we've had this saved up now for I think 2 weeks, we've got 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. But for Valentine's Day, I think my girlfriend's birthday, we tried to get into this jazz club and we accidentally went to the wrong place. That was a whole thing I won't get into. But I'm going to try and get a jazz club sorted for Valentine's Day. So we're going to put an extra £30 in there today. And that will go towards that. Probably cover it. Again, we don't really have that expensive taste, but I don't really know because we're not going to be in our city. So I don't really know how much it's going to cost, but it shouldn't be too much. And that brings us to the big fat entertainment wallet. If anyone's seen the last video, we're away for a couple of days on a city break, kind of last minute thing for Amsterdam. And that has meant quite a bit of money is kind of set aside for that just now. So what have we got? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 10, 20, 40, 60, 80, 200, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 250, 300, 350. So note's a wee bit of a mess there. We need to tidy that up. But that's £350 set aside. Now, flights are about £150. Airbnb is going to be about another £150. So we're looking at maybe 300 quid just for travel and staying. Those are kind of some estimations. So we assume there's going to be other costs. We're going to have to eat when we're there. If you are visiting somewhere else, you kind of obviously want to spend a bit more and see the place rather than, kind of hide away from. There are some attractions and things that we just won't have an opportunity to see anytime soon again. So we might as well. Again, I know I'm tackling that debt box and putting money into it constantly. We still have to get the savings filled up. But this has been a long time without some travel, so I'm still feeling guilty about putting some money towards it, but I can't say no. So we're going to put another £100 in towards that. Now, I'm not looking to go and splash all my cash over this couple of days, but I'd rather have it to enjoy while we're there And if we don't end up spending it, that's great. When we take it back, we'll just put it in towards the saving. But yeah, I'm going to put another £100 in there today. So 1, 2, oh, let's count it. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. I know there are mixed opinions on spending this much. It's one of those things. I can't really defend it, but I'm sure I'm not the only one who's kind of felt the last couple of years and missed certain aspects, and travel is a big part of that. Still nothing for the housing deposit. We're still building up these savings. Let's have a look. See, got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, mess, 80, 90, 95. I think I might have miscounted that. Sorry guys, give me a wee second just to double check that. That's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 95, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, and 20. So 120, 95. Okay. Now, still don't know exactly where I'm aiming for the wallet, for the savings wallet, but I do want at least 1 month of income there. As a quick aside, guys, before we stuff this wallet, I'd be interested to hear your advice on, I've forgotten the word, placeholders. So, as someone pointed out, most rental insurance only covers up to about maybe £500. I'll be honest, I don't even have rental insurance at the moment, so none of this would be covered, and I don't want maybe too much cash sitting there. So I might start depositing this into a savings account. There's next to no interest on it anyway, but just maybe better than having it here potentially at risk. Someone's advice was to use Monopoly money as a placeholder. I quite like that idea, purely because I really like the Monopoly game from when I was a kid. But any suggestions, I am all ears. Because I do think I'd like to do something like that. So rent, we're doing well with for this point of the month. Bills are the same. Groceries, we will need some more for the month, but that'll do me for the week. Car, gas, dining out, that's all covered. Entertainment, quite beefy, but that should last us. No miscellaneous or gifts that I can think of. Savings is slowly getting there. And we do still have, we've got some side hustle money and some left. So I'm going to do 2 things from here. I'm going to I'm going to put a little bit more aside from groceries. So what we're trying to do is work out exactly how much I spend each month as kind of on average on groceries. And then each week I want to have enough for that week set aside. So we're not kind of playing catch up, and I've not got too much set aside in advance. Still not great at doing that. We tend to go between different accounts, either hers or mine, and it just depends what card comes to hand sometimes. So it's a bit of a mess, but I'm going to put a little bit more in there. I'm going to put an extra £50 just so I know that'll be enough for the foreseeable. And then that's all the kind of important ones done. We're going to do 2 things now. So first of all, we've got a savings challenge going on here at the back. Not this one, this one's the side hustle money. I should probably put that somewhere else. But we are filling these envelopes and we're only opening them once they're all complete. And we have a whole bunch of empty ones here. And I've not been putting much money aside for this. Most of our focus has been getting the debt box filled up. And that is something we're going to continue to focus on because it makes more sense paying that off and then we're paying less APR on the debt than having the money sitting here on a savings challenge. But our goal, if you've seen one of the other videos, I've actually started to track it. We have a budget tracker now, is either £800 or £1,000. I'm not quite sure yet. And our goal is to put at least £150 a month in towards the savings. We don't open that until it's done, and then it's going to something fun. Okay, arguably the couple of days city trip might really count as the something fun, but we're going to put £50 in there today. Still haven't decided quite what that's going to be for. If anyone has suggestions, just please don't say put it in the debt box. So that is another £50, and we'll get that added to the tracker later on. Bit of a mess. So the savings goal, we wanted to be for something fun as a kind of reward to be putting all this money away for the debt. Because we're kind of doing the something fun with the Valentine's trip, I don't really know, but we'll have a wee think. And that still leaves us with quite a wee bit to put in towards the debt. So we've got 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 100, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, another 100, 10, 20, 30, 40. So that is £240. We're kind of slowly building up the emergency fund savings wallet back here. And again, I've seen kind of mixed opinions on this. Some people say focus on getting that before you pay off the debt. Some people are saying pay off the debt. I can definitely understand both. We are taking a risk by not having that emergency fund ready, because if something does happen, it means we're maybe relying on credit cards to get things paid off, and that can increase the debt. But what we'll do is maybe mix things up a wee tiny bit. So I'm going to take £100 and double check. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Oh, I have got this wrong, haven't I? 10, 20, 30, 50. Yeah, I got that wrong. Sorry, guys. I was £10 out. So that's £100. And we're going to put that into the savings because we have a little bit more than I expected to have left over. So the goal is to have at least, ideally within the next couple of weeks, I'd like to have £1,000 set aside for the emergency fund. We're taking a bit of a risk by not having it, and definitely not having it higher. But if nothing happens, and obviously that's an if, it is a risk, it's a gamble. If nothing happens, getting that debt paid off first is in the long term going to be better because we're not paying as much interest on it. So we're going to put the rest of it in towards the debt box. So that's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130. So not the, don't think it's the biggest payment we've made towards the debt, but I like putting even a little tiny bit away each month and forgetting about it. And it won't sit in the box, it will actually go in probably the end of this week, and we'll just pay off the debt as we go. But that's it, guys. Again, thank you very, very much for watching. I really appreciate all the comments and advice we've been getting. If anyone sees anything we're kind of doing wrong, or can maybe change, I am all ears. I'll try and answer all the comments. And I really appreciate everyone who's watching. It's helping me more than you know. I know some of this is a mess. I know I don't feel great about the couple of, that's not true. I do feel great about a couple of days city break after a long time of no travel at all. I actually do. I'm really, really excited for it. I do feel guilty about putting so much money in the entertainment wallet. However, like I said in the previous video, my income is heavily based on performance. I think basically everything I do it works that way. There's no real hourly pay for it. So maybe a little bit of mental clarity, a couple of days break, a little bit of travel will maybe it'll long term pay me back. That's the justification I'm going with. But this is still more money than I would normally have saved. Usually I would waste it in impulse buy, whatever rubbish, I don't even know. But the fact that we've got a good chunk towards our rent and our bills and things already, we're paying off the debt, and we have the savings challenge slowly building in the background here as well, is still better than I would normally have. And I owe that entirely to cash stuffing, which I owe to everyone showing up and watching this. So really, really appreciate it, guys. Thanks very much, and I will see you in the next one.